Okay, let me give you this scenario. Let's say this is you standing here with a ball. This is you standing here with a ball. Currently it is at a height of A. So you're going to drop this ball. It's going to fall, hit the ground, bounce straight back up again to a height of AR. And then it's going to fall back down again, hit the floor, bounce back up again. This time it's going to reach a height of AR squared. It's going to fall, hit the ground, bounce back up. This time it's AR to the power 3, and so on. So we are going to model it like this. So the height here is A, and R is going to depend on, well, R is going to be strictly less than 1, but R depends on the relationship between the ball and the floor. If you have let's say if you have a golf ball, then R might be slightly bigger than if you have, let's say, a tennis ball. So R depends on the type of ball and the surface of the ground, basically. So the height. So let's just say we're going to drop it at a height of 6 meters, and R for our, let's say, for our golf ball, R for our golf ball is 2/3. Find the total distance traveled. So the total distance traveled is really you summing up. Well, when you drop it, it's going to fall a distance of A. So to find the total distance traveled, it will be A. So the distance traveled so far would be A, which is this A here, and then it's going to bounce back up again, reach a height of AR. So on the way up, it will be AR, and then on the way down, it's going to be another AR. So AR plus AR, that would be 2AR, and then it's going to bounce back up again. This time it's going to reach a height of AR squared, and then it's going to fall back down again. So it's going to fall back down the distance of AR squared. So here you're going to have 2AR squared, and so on. So the you wanting to know the total distance traveled would be you summing up the whole series here. So it really boils down to us trying to sum up this whole series for a given A and a given R. So hang on. So really it boils down to us summing up this whole thing here. Well, to sum up this whole thing here, try to rewrite this series in this form. Once it's in this form, then you can apply this formula. Once you apply this formula, then hopefully that will somehow get you to this S here, the sum of the whole series. So try to rewrite this in this form here. It looks easy, but it's in fact there's something cunning that you have to do in order to sum up this whole thing here. But the clue is to try and rewrite it as this. And then once you've written as this, then you can apply this formula. But try to have a go. Try to rewrite this in this form, and then well, somehow sum up this whole series. Okay. Remember, A will be given to us in our case is 6. R will be given to us in this case is 2/3. Somehow sum up the whole series. Okay. So try and rewrite this whole thing here as this in this form. Once it's in this form, then you can apply this. Well, press pause and have a go. Okay, the cunning thing that you have to do here is just to try and concentrate on summing up this whole thing here. Forget about the A for the time being. So if you look at this here, from here to here, you're multiplying by R. From here to here, you're multiplying by R. So it seems as if the common ratio would be R. But then, when n is 1, you put into here, this will be this whole thing. Well, n 1 take away 1 would be 0. R to the power of 0 would be 1. So the first term, it seems as if well, the trick here, the first term should be a 2AR. That's the first term. But then your common ratio is this. So this will be n minus 1, and then it will be this. You just have to sit there and really think about this. The trick is, so don't forget S equals, and then we said we're going to forget about A for the time being. So yeah, we're going to forget about A for the time being and concentrate on this whole thing here. Well, this whole thing here can be written as this thing here. So let's start again. Hang on. So let's start again. Our task was to somehow rewrite this whole thing here as this, and then but the thing is we're going to ignore this for the time being and concentrate on this. Well, if you look at this here, if you make this to be your, remember, ignore this for the time being. This will be our first term here. This here will be our first term, and then this here will be our second. Well, the trick is to make this to be this, and then the common ratio is actually this thing here. You just have to think about it. Okay, so this thing here is S here is given by A here, and the rest can be rewritten as this. So in our case, this is like our A, and this is like our common ratio. But the hard part is in recognizing that this should be your A here, this whole thing here. So now if you test this, when n is 1, put it into here. This will be 0. So r to the power of 0 is 1. So that will then give you your first term. And then when r equals 2, put it into here. It will then give you this term, and so on. We said we're going to ignore this for the time being. So hang on. This s here equals this. So this s here equals this. This whole thing here is this thing here. This a here is this. So now, once it's in this form, we can apply this formula. Once it's in this form, we can apply this formula. So applying this formula, this is your RA here. So we can put it into here. So that means we can put that into here. So how putting it into there will give us this. And then we've got 1 take away R. So we've got 1 take away R. So that will then give us this. So remember, this is S equals this thing here. And then now imagine this as being A over 1 times top and bottom by R by 1 minus R, sorry. By 1 minus R. Basically merge these two together. That will then give us this. And then tidy this up. If you look at this, A is in common, so you can just factor this out. So that will then give you this. Minus R plus 2R, that will then give you R. Basically, it's blah, 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 that will then take you to here. So, what we've got so far is this. Hang on. What we've got so far is this. We now know that if you sum up everything, it will give you this. So we can now apply our formula. So going back to our original scenario here, where A is 6 and R is 2 over 3, we can just simply put it into this formula now. So this, put it into here, put this into here, put this into here. So that will then give us this. That will then give us a distance of 30 meters. Okay.